going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed at my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
Oscar BEVIS, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by BEVIS. Josh Warrington joins me in Sheffield, mate. Thank you very much for giving me some of your time. Pleasure as always to see you. How's things?
Very well, Oscar. Very well. I'm talking to you. You look lovely in your pink jumper. You like pink jumper.
Mate, I've just realised the last time I interviewed you, I had a pink jumper, and you mentioned it. I do actually have other clothes. I have to mention.
I think I've got a thing for the pink. Simple as that. But yeah, I'm good, mate. Thank you. Been in the gym, working hard. Waiting to see where we go next. Finished sulking over the last fight, but yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good.
Yeah, we'll come on to kind of that night in Leeds and potentially what's next. Got to mention while we're here though, Reece Mould, Hamid Gaz, 2 belts on the line. Yes. We've just seen Reece make weight, Hamid not make weight. So there's already kind of a little bit of perhaps a mentality change in both, having seen that. And do you know what? Tomorrow night that roof is going to blow off.
Yeah, I mean, I hear Gaz is well supported. Obviously, I've seen Reece. Reece is always well supported. Obviously, more people come out when there's a little bit more on the line, when the fights are a lot bigger or a bigger scale. So it's going to be some atmosphere in there tomorrow. I can't wait to see Reece put in the performance because he's always trained hard, but this camp. Seen another side to him. He's really took every session as though it was his last one, and I think he'll look real good tomorrow. You know, he's a heavyweight. He's not struggling with the weight like he used to do making featherweight. You know, carry a lot of weight in them 8-ounce gloves, and like I say, when you've got an unbeaten man going up against you, adds a little bit more to the spice, but yeah, I'm pretty certain my man Reece will be victorious.
Yeah, mate, can't wait. It's going to be some atmosphere, and I mean, you never normally get what you want in boxing, but I'm hoping they kind of just stand there and trade. But as Sean said to me earlier, you never really get what you want in boxing, do you?
You don't. It's never, nothing's ever certain. But you know, it's good to have these shows. Someone asked me earlier about grassroots boxing. Is it getting bigger? Yeah, of course it is. When you look at grassroots boxing. You know, when you talk about small hall shows weren't, you know, as fancy as this, we're having day before weigh-ins and, you know, having media turn up to them. I mean, you weren't even getting that for main events when I first turned pro. The main, like, big cards, TV cards as it was, you know, as it is, winning leisure centres, you know, with a British title as a main event and the you know, the chief support being an 8-round local lad. Like, these small hall grassroots shows are actually bigger than, you know, the main event shows when I first turned pro. But yeah, it's fantastic to see 2 lads go at it at this stage of the career, and I think it's right as well. You know, there's only so far you can go when you're having them steady tick over ones. You need to take a stage of your career where you step up a bit.
Yeah, I can't wait. And like you said, kind of even the production value and everything around it just gives it that kind of big fight feel. So you said you kind of finished sulking over the fight in Leeds. How long was that process for you?
Probably about 10 days after. I said to my missus prior to the fight, I said, listen, I'm going to get fat. I'm just going to get fat. I'm going to eat like a fucking greedy bastard. Just eat everything. Just have desserts constantly. And full English, steaks and all that. But on the Monday, I wanted to go back to the gym. I wanted to get back in. I wanted to start training. Yeah, we just fully on that. And it's just like anything, you know, you start reflecting on events, what's happened. Obviously, I was reflecting on the fight. And I get into bed, I'd just be thinking about it, and I can't sleep. So I'd have to go down, put a film on, and wait until my eyes were burning before I went back to sleep. And you know, I found myself being at home, just being a bit quiet and stuff, not really interacting with the kids. I thought, it's not fair, this. You know, the kids get at a stage where Christmas is magical for them, and fucking daddy's been a miserable bastard, and I'm taking what's happened to the ring home. So, snapped out of it. And 2 weeks before the fight, I was down in Leeds General Infirmary, and I visited some of the kids down there, and I just reminded myself, there's kids who are fucking spending their Christmas and holiday. You're fucking at home, you're in good health. All right, yeah, a fight's not going your way, but don't stop fucking sulking about it. Sort it after Christmas. Enjoy this, and then get back to it New Year. And that's what I did, mate. I just give myself a slap around the old chippy chops, and put it on the back burner. I haven't watched it back. I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched it back yet. I couldn't.
Is that because you can't, or you just don't want to?
As the weeks go by, I mean, we're 8 weeks prior post-fight now. It's getting easier, and I'm getting the fucking courage to watch introductions. But I've not been able to sit down just because of the way my head works. I'd get so worked up and wound up because it was a fight of two halves, wasn't it? I started slow. Now I've dissected my own fucking head and thoughts and feelings of why I started slow, and people can make whatever reason, but without realising subconsciously, I was probably protecting that jaw. And I know my changing point came in around round 4 or round 5 when I'd gone back to the corner and I mentioned to my old man, he fucking just caught me on jaw again, and it feels like it's hurt. He went, "You think it's broke again?" I went, "No." "Well, it's fucking alright then, Josh." And it's like, that gave me a bit of a slap round the face to just fucking crack on. All of a sudden I got off the corner with a different mindset. I started taking the fight to him. Fuck me, I haven't watched the fight back, but some of my pals have sent me the compu box readings. Some rounds I didn't even throw a jab. It's like, fucking, you look back at any of my fights, jobs constantly getting pumped out. And really, when you think, well, what is the reason of that? My jaw got broke on that side. Without realising it, probably gun shy because I didn't want to get caught again. But once I got through them initial 4 or 5 rounds, then I didn't give a fuck. And I started taking the fight to him, and the fight changed course. And towards the back end of it, I was desperate because I said to my old man around round 8 or 9, I said, "How are you seeing it?" And he said, "Listen, it's close, but you finish strong here, then belt staying at home. No problem." Put my foot on the gas and won the championship rounds, and I thought it'd be enough to get my hand raised at the end, but I just didn't think so.
Obviously, Lopez was kind of modelled as this stone cold killer who's going to come, and the one thing he's going to do is come and try to knock you out, and that's kind of going to be completely it. Obviously, this was the first time for him that he stepped up to that elite world level facing you. Did you feel kind of that power at any point from Lopez? Was there a shot that kind of made you go, all right, obviously, you didn't get wildly hurt, but was there a shot that kind of made you go, yeah, I can see why he's kind of got that reputation?
Not really. Listen, that's not being cocky, but the reason being is I was taking 4, 5, 6, 7 at times without coming back, where normally I'd be quick to respond. I'd let you have 1 or 2 and I'd respond. I didn't respond again in the early stages because fucking bit preoccupied with that. I feel that's done now and I'm out of it, but I'd feel uncomfortable taking fucking 4, 5, 6, 7 off someone like Kiko Martinez. Anyone stepping up to this level, they've got a bit of a foot behind him, but it's no way is this fucking monster big puncher. And if you're allowing someone to tee off on you, then yeah, they're going to get a bit of purchase and momentum behind them. And especially when he throws the shots from weird angles and he's like that Mexican style where they put a lot of their body weight into the punches. The shots are going to be heavy, but never at one point I think, oh fucking hell, I don't want to get caught with them clean. Whereas like someone with Kiko, I'm always got my guard up because you're like, that cunt's a fucking solid puncher. So there's a reason why he didn't want the rematch. That's why he's been saying bullshit like I'm a dirty fighter and this and that. And yeah, we did clash heads. It did happen. Fucking the head butter did it again. It happened, but everything else. I mean, look at round 5, round 6 when a punch landed on the side of his fucking leg. The referee didn't even see it. He was still able to milk 2.5 minutes. About 10 seconds prior to that, I didn't move a body shot. he wincing like a fucking dog who's just hurt his paw. You know, he's absolutely ridiculous as a fighter and as a character and as a man. And for that reason, I have no respect for him. But if I got myself into a manager position, then he'd fucking have to fight me, wouldn't he?
When did discussions open between you two, or when did you kind of hear the first thing from his team that he didn't want the rematch? Because again, I'll go back to when I last spoke to Sean, I think January the 4th, January the 5th. Sean told me then, he was like, yeah, they are adamant that they don't want the rematch. So kind of how long after the fight did you kind of get the wave that, yeah, Team Lopez aren't interested in this?
You know, the managers and promoters work there. You know, you'll know yourself from speaking to Eddie, fucking people like that don't switch off. They'll just live and breathe it. Managers, promoters, and obviously Steve Wood, my manager, he works very tirelessly for myself. Gets paid well, so he's to earn his crust. But no, they'll have been working on it over Christmas, and I think around just after 26th, 27th of December, so a few weeks after the fight, you know, I had a bit of a catch up with Steve. He came over and seen me, himself and my dad, and he more or less let us know what potential options are and where he were with the rematch.
26th of December. Boxing really don't rest, does it? Obviously, you're in that division where there's always going to be fights around, regardless of whether you're coming off a defeat or not. The Lee Wood one, I spoke to you about this after Maxi and Barry had that fight. It just appeals, and it's an English fight as well. Obviously, you went to the Forest Ground the other day. Lee's fighting Maurizio next week. Obviously, Lee would have to come through that, but it's just something about you and Lee. They're really excited about that fight.
Domestic, isn't it? Domestic, and when you look at it, our careers, when you're fucking reminiscing now, but you look at our careers 5 years ago, I'm become world champion. Lee's more or less finished, you know. Well, not finished, but certainly not that level. Then he boxes in the golden contracts and his career's done. Then I get knocked out by Lara. He fights Kanju, that fight that I was meant to be fighting. And all of a sudden it's changed around, and what makes boxing exciting, even though at the time people can say you're finished. Lee Woods proved that you certainly aren't finished. You know, you finish when you fucking say you're finished, not when everyone else says you're finished. And yeah, it is, obviously everyone's domestic. He has a big fan base with the Nottingham Forest fans, and I've got big support from the Leeds United and people of Leeds. So it's a stadium fight, isn't it? With that being said, I said to him the other day, nothing personal because it's just rivalry, but I want Lara to beat him, and that's no other reason than because I want to fight Lara again. That's simple as that.
Well, you said to me, if Colesberg did 18 months or whatever, it was you work yourself into a mandatory position, get Lopez's belt, Lee's beaten by Mauricio, and then the unification to get revenge, and then you would have got revenge on the two guys who have previously beaten you. You'd have been unified. As we know, and as you said, boxing never works like that. But that's kind of the route that that's the route that you would want, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be perfect, and that can work in a different scenario as well. I could have, if Lara comes through, Lee Wood, he would be champion then. So then, I'd have the fight with Lara, beat him, and then, the carrot would be there to dangle towards Lopez. He'd be, well, I don't know if he would be confident, but he'll think like there's big money on the table, a chance to unify. Maybe I have to just do what I did before, and I could become victorious again. And I'd beat him, have the win against him, and then I just fucking move up to lightweight and see what we can do there.
I kind of get the idea that there's going to be absolutely no way, at least not now, that Josh Warrington's going to be frozen out of any world title picture at all.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I'm not a Conor McGregor get the red panties out, but people certainly know that if they fight me, it's a big fight. They've obviously because of the fan base that I have, because of the profile. World champion, 5 world title fights, 6 world title fights, 5 victorious. Still a relevant name, and I don't fucking blow smoke up my own ass, but people of boxing can see that, and that is why people want to. They want to fucking, see if Josh wants to fight us. That's why I'm still relevant, and I still feel when I come back, it'd be kind of like after I came back against Martinez after the Lara 2-1. Just walking into that fight, I had my own demons. I started thinking, fucking hell, what if he catches you here? And obviously I'd fought this over and over again, but just going off like moments in change rooms thinking, what if he catches you and you fucking go down in front of 18,000 of your own? What a cunt you'll look like on your back, fucking having to retire, getting stretchered out of fucking ring. But then, even though the fight only lasted 2 rounds, there were plenty to take, because after the first round I remember going back to corner thinking, and saying to me, old man, I'm back. He's not hurting me like he did before. He's fuck all this, man. And obviously, the fight was materialising pretty much how we wanted it to. Obviously, apart from the head clash. Oh, did I want that to happen? Some people will say I did. But like going into the Martinez camp after that, fully focused, thinking like, yeah, when your head's on it, you're on it. Trained hard, and then fucking hell, Martinez, like, I was so confident, so strong. And then, without like in hindsight, looking back, I went into this fight with somewhat like on my mind about my jaw, and I thought I got through everything, but obviously I didn't, because in the first 4 or 5 rounds shown. But then I fucking ticked 7 boxes in the fucking them early stages. Now going to the fight again, I know that's solid. I'm a fucking Terminator, and you know, everything else will just flow. So I can't wait to be back, and all them fucking wankers will say you're finished or he's seen better days. I've even seen people say, oh, he's slurring in his interviews now. When maybe I need
Just the Yorkshire accent, isn't it?
exactly. Maybe I need 1 or 2 elocution lessons to speak a little bit more properly. But fucking hell, you know, I know my people around me, my missus and my dad and my team around me know that. Listen, Josh, you've seen. I'm at my peak, and there's still plenty of left in the old dog yet. Struggle to get them words out then.
Mate, cannot wait to see you back in the ring. I know you're going to get asked this question tons next week, so I'll make sure that IFL get in first and hopefully get the best breakdown of it. Just before I let you go, Leeward, Mauricio Lara, how does it pan out? Is it kind of the complete shootout that everyone expects? I know from when I watched Mauricio in San Diego, I think he stopped the guy in the 4th, but when he got out of the ring, he looked knackered. So is it kind of one of them where if Lee can survive the early thing, yeah, or does he just go in and have a shootout?
You've answered it yourself, Oscar. I mean, and by the way, you're third in line, because I've already done a few interviews already. I've talked about this. Sorry, mate. No, listen. I believe that. There's been plenty seen of Mauricio now, haven't there? And we know his strengths, we know his weaknesses. I think Lee and Ben Davidson will be clever enough to come up with a game plan. Ride them first 4 or 5 rounds out, and then just start picking at him. Start picking it around his midriff. He's not strong down there. And I do believe that Lee will come out victorious. I think he'll stop him late on, or win it like pretty comfortably. I reckon he'll put Lara down at some point in the fight, but you know, it's going to be either points or a late stoppage. And even like I said earlier, I want Lara to win just because I want to fight Lara again, but I believe that Lee will win.
I know obviously you can't give anything away, but I don't know, I've just got a feeling that you might be getting in the ring if it is Lee, and then we might get kind of a half announcement.
What do you know?
I mean, I expected that you were going to be there anyway, but we've seen it enough times, haven't we? Kind of you and Lee getting in the ring after, everyone getting on your back like they did when you went to Forest, you know.
It depends, because like credit to Lee, when I beat Martinez, you know, they all called for him to get in the ring and blah blah blah, but he gave. Kudos to him. He gave me my moment, and he said, "No, I don't want to interrupt Josh's moment." So, listen, if he's at the life or death and he gets the victory, then I'm just going to let him fucking enjoy his moment in front of his, his own lot. He had an hard fight last time out, so hopefully he gets a win. Or no, hopefully, but because I want Lara to win. But if he does get a win and he's unscathed and stuff, then he'll want to enjoy that, and I'll let him enjoy it. But if it's promotional obligations and I have to get in the ring and go first to swim, then, well, I have to do what the contract says because Eddie's a mean man.
I was going to say, promotional obligations, whatever Eddie wants. Josh, thank you very much for giving me some of your time. Pleasure. See you tomorrow night for a big and what should be an entertaining fight. And cannot wait to see you back in the ring. Top man.
Thank you. Come on. Boom.
I'm gonna share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light. Yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.